Vladimir Putin responded to Donald Trump's demand that he stop accelerating the war in Ukraine, that he hold off until Donald Trump gets into office. He responded by having his state-run television show semi-pornographic photos of Melania Trump that are out there during an alleged program about the win by Donald Trump at the polls and the Russians celebrating it. With friends like these, I'm Michael Popok on Legal AF and the MeidasTouch Network. Let's talk about how Putin has already responded, and we now have a rocky relationship going here between Putin and Trump at a moment when Donald Trump has said, for instance, that he has a close relationship with him, that he's going to be able to get him to put an end to the war in Ukraine immediately, as soon as they get into office. That's why he had Elon Musk on the phone. That's why apparently Boris Epshteyn in Donald Trump's inner circle, who has no experience as a diplomat, is barely a lawyer. He's already volunteered to be the special envoy to try to solve the war in Ukraine. That has been, of course, promoted and prosecuted by the Russians against the Ukraine. Now, in response to the phone call, and we did some reporting on the MeidasTouch Network about the phone call. There were a series of phone calls that week after the election that Donald Trump made with Elon Musk, his lapdog, apparently sitting on his lap during the phone calls with these people. And then Russian state television went into action in a program that was supposed to be celebrating, because they love Donald Trump, celebrating Donald Trump's victory. All of a sudden, they had photos of Melania Trump on semi-nude modeling. Let's roll the clip.
Melania Trump. Муж, наконец, победил, готовится во второй.
Nude photos of Melania Trump have been aired on Russia's most watched state TV channel during a program supposedly dedicated to celebrating Trump's election victory.
That is a response, if I've ever seen one. That is not by chance. That is the #1 watched channel in Russia. Nothing on there from an editorial standpoint happens without Putin's approval. If they decided to try to embarrass Donald Trump by showing these photos, these scantily clad photos of Melania Trump during a piece that was supposed to be a puff piece about Donald Trump, that is a signal that Putin is not to be trifled with. If Donald Trump thinks he's just going to sit down and do the art of the deal with Putin, it's not happening. And Putin is signaling that to him. I mean, could you imagine if we did that? I mean, right after Putin won election, Donald Trump had Fox News run semi-naked photos of his mistress or one of his wives. I mean, at the moment of critical negotiations, come on. I mean, but this stuff it gets missed by corporate media. It doesn't get missed here on the MeidasTouch Network and on Legal AF. We got a Melania problem here. They've got a Melania problem there. We got a Melania problem here. First, let's start with there in Russia. The fact that they're even celebrating the win. I mean, I've said it time and time again. This cabinet that Donald Trump's putting together, particularly Department of Defense, Human Services, Intelligence, and Attorney General, this group looks like it was handpicked by Putin. I don't know how a Putin list and a Trump list would be any different. In fact, this is probably better than any, wet dream of Putin about what he could do within America. He's having a person, just elected president, do it for him. You almost want to think it's a Trojan horse that Trump, not Gabbard, is the Russian asset. So you've got that going on. And then you've got the dysfunctional relationship between Donald Trump and Putin, with Putin in the lead. Certainly playing mind games. You don't think he thinks that Donald Trump was shown this video? Here's how did Russia television cover my win? Roll the tape. Okay. Is that Melania? Yes, it is. That may be one of the only times we're actually going to see Melania in the next 4 years. She has made it be known. I mean, I live and work in New York. She's made it be known that she is not up for another 4 years as full-time first lady. No way, no how. I work a couple of blocks from Trump Tower where they live. Her kid, who's her pride and joy, the sun rises and sets on Barron Trump. the king of the crypto world for Donald Trump, this 18-year-old. He's going to school where I went to school. He's going to NYU up the street on Fifth Avenue, and she's going to be, within an umbilical cord's length of Barron Trump. That's all she wants to do. She wants the spa day and the lady lunch time and the shopping at maybe even at Bergdorf's across the street from Trump Tower, where E. Jean Carroll was raped by Donald Trump in 1996. Like shopping trips like that. Today's episode is brought to you by Ollie. And I'm not the only one excited about this new sponsor. My furry part of the family. Our lab border collie mix Lily is too. Clean, fresh nutrition your dog needs in 5 flavors they'll absolutely flip over. You don't have to be a veterinary nutritionist to know that feeding your dog real, whole foods with minimal processing is one of the best choices you can make for their health. A perfectly portioned whole fresh food diet has been proven to extend your pup's life by 2.5 years. With absolutely no harmful fillers, no preservatives, Ollie is made in U.S. kitchens with ingredients carefully sourced from trusted growers and producers around the world. Because the time between Ollie's gentle cooking and your dog chowing down is minimal, they don't need preservatives to extend shelf life. With 5 protein-first recipes like fresh beef with sweet potatoes, fresh turkey with blueberries, or fresh lamb with cranberries, you might start thinking, dang, my dog eats better than I do. And that's probably true when it comes to Ollie. Here's how it works. Fill out Ollie's 30-second quiz, and they'll create a customized meal plan based on your pup's weight, activity level, and other health info. Ollie crunches the numbers and recommends the right recipes and daily portions for your precious pup based on hundreds of thousands of real dog results. And for any first-timers, Ollie will send out your pup's first box with 2 weeks worth of meals and a guide of how to gradually switch them over to their new diet. Ollie offers 3 meal plans to choose from. So you can choose between a full fresh plan, fresh topper plan, or a mixed plan with their freshly baked recipes for your special fur baby. They also have treats and supplements. Who doesn't want more time with their best friend? My wife and I rescued Lily, a muddy-paws puppy saved from the floods in Tennessee almost 3 years ago. And we have made it our mission to give her an amazing and healthy life in her forever home. And she really thrives on fresh ingredients, veggies, and proteins. Instead of that, well, let's admit it, sad kibble we used for years. We always had trouble with weight management and lost a prior dog who suffered from chronic health conditions her whole life. That's where Ollie comes in. Right now, Ollie is offering a fantastic deal to let your pup taste test a personalized meal plan. So head to Ollie.com, tell them all about your dog, and use Legal AF, and you'll get 60% off your first box of meals when you subscribe today. Head to OLLIE.com and enter code LEGALAF to get 60% off your first box. They offer a clean bowl guarantee on their first box, so if you're not completely satisfied, you can get your money back. That's Ollie.com and enter code LEGALAF to get 60% off your first box. But Melania has made it clear that unless it's all transactional, there's been reporting that at least 2 times she has improved considerably her own prenuptial agreement and made sure that Barron had the equal share of the Trump fortune along with her, his half brothers and sisters through other women like Ivana. And she has refused to go to the White House because of that. Everybody was wondering why in 2016 she stayed behind and didn't go to the White House for a couple of months. They said, Barron's still in school. That wasn't the reason. It was extortion. She hadn't yet finished her negotiations over her prenup to increase it. And everything we heard, it went up by about $20 or $30 million. In order for her to go become the first lady. And now we know why she doesn't want to be the first lady when she got there. We know she used to cry and moan about having to do the job. Oh, I don't want to do the Easter egg roll. Oh, I don't want to do the Christmas. Oh, I hate these people in my house. Like that. She said it out loud. I don't want to play the tape again, but we have audio of her complaining about her having to do her first lady duties. She obviously put all of her anger about it into chopping down the rose garden planted and arranged by the beloved Jackie Kennedy And then why don't we have all red Christmas trees one year? Blood red, Russian red Christmas trees. Yeah, let's do that. Oh my God. And she's not going back now. You think you didn't see her a lot in the first term? She's going to be only there for state dinners, the inauguration balls, state dinners, and a couple of other events she has to go to. Otherwise, you and I and our taxpayer dollars are going to be spending a lot of money and resources protecting her around as she traipses around New York with all of her luxury handbags and shopping and doing her life. You know, that's what's going to happen. And there's nothing we can do about it. Donald Trump's going to be sleeping alone, although we know how that's worked out in the past. I started the hot take where I wanted to, which is this how with friends like these, you don't need enemies, right? You don't need it's Putin responding to the thank you for the phone call. Run the porno photos of Melania on state TV and laugh about it. Oh my God. It's just totally crazy. Absolutely crazy. We've seen some crazy things on Russian television, and they're ballsy. You know, Putin give him credit as an evil genius. He's got brass ones that are bigger than Donald Trump's whatever's left down there. Honestly, he had on another Russian television network or channel, he had them speculate out loud that Tulsi Gabbard, who Donald Trump picked for national intelligence director, must be a Russian asset. This is on Russian television, state-owned. That is calling her superwoman and saying she must work for Russian special services. You think that was a coincidence? And then Russia TV in America, RT TV, they get caught and indicted for taking $10 million and pumping it through what appears to be an innocent victim here, although I can't possibly believe it, that they were given $10 million for a Tennessee podcast company, Right Wing, a bro podcast company. And then all of a sudden, all the bros on the podcast were spouting Kremlin Pravda, Kremlin talking points against Ukraine, just like Tulsi Gabbard did. You know, is that what we're watching here? The Red Menace, it has completely and totally infiltrated American society up to the presidency. I don't know. I'm going to continue to watch it right here on MeidasTouch Network and on Legal AF. If you like what we're doing at the intersection of law and politics, we formed a new channel in collaboration with the MeidasTouch Network, and we called it Legal AF. Yeah, we're that creative. We're over on the curator over there, Legal AF MTN on YouTube. We're doing stories every hour, every day at the intersection of law and politics, which will be the most important thoroughfare, I assure you, during the next 4 years in Donald Trump's presidency. Be there with us. Come on over, free subscribe. So until my next Legal AF podcast here on the MeidasTouch Network or Legal AF, the YouTube channel, I'm Michael Popok, and I'm reporting. In collaboration with the MeidasTouch Network, we just launched the Legal AF YouTube channel. Help us build this pro-democracy channel where I'll be curating the top stories at the intersection of law and politics. Go to YouTube now and free subscribe at Legal AF MTN. That's at Legal AF MTN.